Hello, everyone. Welcome to the inaugural episode of the Backlog podcast, I think is what I decided on.
Not the line.
The line's probably better, actually, but I don't know if it reads well. Hey there, editing Fate here. It's come to my attention that during the entire hour plus of this podcast that we recorded, neither of us referred to each other by name or introduced each other or ourselves. So my co-host, who is not here while I'm recording this, is Overanalyzing Avatar, who you may know from successful YouTube channel, Overanalyzing Avatar. I am Fate Views. You can call me Fate. You may know me from far less successful YouTube channel, Fate Views. That's all I really had to add before we get into it, so enjoy the podcast. So we should start by probably explaining the rules and how everything works.
Go on then.
Well, like most people, we watch a lot of movies. Well, we watch probably more than most people because it's what we do. And we have trouble picking movies from time to time. So we decided to play a little game where we watch a movie, and then the next movie we watch has to have an actor from the previous movie. There's another rule that comes in a bit later that we didn't have when we first started. So I guess I'll bring that up when it happens.
I don't know what that rule is. You've lost me.
You'll see. So we're gonna do the tier list format, but I don't think we should just do the letter grades. I think we should give these like some form of meaning.
Right? Like how?
Well, if, for example, S should be like would recommend anyway. You know what I mean? And then we can go from there.
Okay. So A's like, I don't know, pretty good.
Yeah, we're off to the fucking races with that one.
Yeah, strong start.
B is like, I don't know, mid would be the term people use nowadays.
I fucking hate popular vernacular.
Go with just okay, and this can be bad.
Right.
We're fucking killing it. And then
D is killed my childhood dog.
Yep. All right, we're
Perfect.
We're doing great. So the first movie we started with was Fight Club.
Right.
I've never seen Fight Club.
Yeah, you didn't realize that your life hadn't started yet.
It was a life-changing experience. I don't know if it was, Spider-Verse.
Well, you started dressing like Tyler Durden afterwards, so.
Yeah, I mean, I bought the leather jacket, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, but I mean, then you threw out all your Sears catalogs and stuff too. I mean, it just made like a big change to you. I mean, I see it in you. Like I can just see it in your eyes, kind of.
Well, follow the rules here. You can't be talking about it. I've
Right,
actually.
so,
I wanted to talk about this one for a long time since it was the first movie we watched. It was a month and a half ago, but it's probably one of the more complex, and I couldn't avoid seeing some like fan theories. Just I like to look shit up after we watch it and see reviews. There's theories that are like I don't know her name, Bellatrix Lestrange, that she's also imaginary.
Marla, I think her name is.
Marla, yeah. So I've seen a theory that she's imaginary. I've seen a theory that all three of them are imaginary. Like, have you heard any of this?
I know about the Marla one, and there's like a moment or two in the movie where it's like, well, it's very likely not, but you could do some mental gymnastics to be like, okay, well, maybe they're just playing along with them later in the movie. But I never heard the one where it's all three of them are imaginary, because then like, what are we even doing?
It was something to do with like the diagnosis at the start of the movie where he's an insomniac. They say like he's actually a cancer patient, so he fractures off and creates like a story from the get-go.
Right. Where does this stem from? Like, where does the idea
I think a lot of people find it strange that the doctor would say, you think you're suffering? Go to a cancer meeting. That is kind of weird, but I don't think it's worth making a whole thing about with the narrator.
I guess so, but with that logic, you could be like, what if the narrator's a penguin because the spirit animal's a penguin? I don't know.
It'll be a penguin. I remember when we watched it, I also brought up how it's strange how it has like a central theme about the effects of toxic masculinity, and it's pretty early to have that sort of theming, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it came out in what, like 2001 or something?
Might have been.
1999. I don't know. It's somewhere in that.
I think it was pretty progressive.
I mean, it's progressive, but it's also progressive in that way where it's like people watch it and they're like, well, like if you have a brand in your head, it's like obviously these people are scumbag lunatics and none of this is actually like healthy behavior. But people will watch this and be like, this is so sick, so true, Brad Pitt.
Well, as soon as you see Jared Leto, you know you're on the wrong side.
Yeah, he is in there for a brief moment, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the first recruit of the actual terrorist cell.
Yeah, red flag. They didn't know any better back then.
True. I went into this movie. You'd seen it before, I hadn't. I genuinely expected it to be just a movie about like an underground fight ring.
Yeah, well, you would.
So it's weird that that's part of it for like 40 minutes and then it goes into like anti-capitalist terrorism, but I liked it a lot.
Well, yeah, it's like, of course, a good movie. I don't think you can. It's just like one of those movies where like you get into it and you're like, okay, I like the vibe like immediately.
Yeah, it definitely has a good setting, good tone. I think without question it has to go top tier.
I would say so. I mean, it's just like, come on, it's Fight Club.
It's I'd put it maybe top 10, but you know, that's another
I
thing.
think I think IMDb does. I think it's
Really?
like third or something,
Behind the Dark Knight?
something like that. Yeah.
Fucking Dark Knight goes crazy. I well, I think that pretty much covers the basis of why we're putting it in the tier. We're not gonna go like too in depth. We're not making like a video essay on each one that we talk about.
Right.
So
So our connection to the next movie. Do you have these in order in
yeah,
the tier list?
I've ordered them in the tier list except for these ones at the bottom, which I just put in for fun.
Right.
So
Okay.
our connection to the next film was Moneyball, which I had seen, hadn't, and it's Brad Pitt was where we went from there.
All right. Yeah. The connection is Brad Pitt is in both movies, so we were allowed to go to Moneyball.
Yeah, and since you had seen Fight Club and I didn't, I wanted you to watch something that I had. It's strange because you have like a background of like playing baseball, just I don't.
Yeah. No. I like baseball. Baseball is good,
So
and
it's strange to me.
I
You know,
don't care much about. I don't care much about financial matters. I guess.
it is more of a math movie, really, is a baseball.
Well, maybe I'm coming around on math movies because we watched The Big Short too. It wasn't bad. I don't know.
Big Short, yeah, I like this sort of like dramatization of historical events like Moneyball, Big Short, Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, it's like you get a little more flavor to what has probably actually happened, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of I've actually watched like interviews with the players that are from Moneyball, and a lot of them are like, that shit did not happen. But
Yeah, that's the thing. It is a dramatization.
yeah, play that shit up for Hollywood. So like, as someone who didn't see it, how did you enjoy like going? Like, what did you expect going into it, and how did you process it?
I was pissed because Miguel Tejada wasn't in it.
Oh,
He's a baseball player I like from back in those days. That I believe was on that A's team, but he didn't get any screen time.
oh, really?
Um, yeah, no, I thought it was, I mean, interesting. Like, I like the idea of going into a sport that is obviously not solved because they have this whole new way of doing it in this movie, but like they're going against the grain and they're trying to use math and logic and another Ben Shapiro word just to like shake everything up, and it works. And then at the end, it's like, okay, they didn't win the championship because. I mean, they did win the championship in real life, but it's like everyone was like, "Oh shit, Brad Pitt, Billy Bean was onto something here," and it changed the whole paradigm. Right? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, because a lot of the baseball culture at that point, like when the A's made that run, was like been established for like 80 years or something crazy like that. Like a 5 point player or whatever they're called. I don't know enough
Yeah.
about baseball. Like that's what you look for, and you take a gamble on some 18-year-old like Billy Bean, and they end up not living up to what you expect, and like that's baseball. But the way Jonah Hill's character, I don't know if he has a real life equivalent. He probably does.
I don't know enough of the story. I don't know.
The way Jonah Hill comes in and he's like, "No, actually, I've put this shit in a spreadsheet. Like I've mathed out the game." That's like very not baseball culture, and I think that is why I liked it as someone who like didn't know the fact that they were doing something revolutionary.
Well,
Um,
it's like it's kind of like baseball culture is a lot of like in baseball. There's a lot of downtime and like you're palling around, and it's like, oh, you started playing baseball because you played catch with your dad. There's like a lot of like humanness to it. So I feel like adding the math element kind of adds like a coldness people probably don't like. That's probably why it was so controversial. But then people are like, oh well, hold on. If we win, then that's also pretty tight. Let's do that.
it does seem like winning is worth being a little bit cold and calculating. Well, the story goes that after this happened, the Red Sox adopted the strategy with a bigger bankroll, and they
Yeah, that's what they
won
say.
like 4 championships in the following decade or something.
Yeah, I can't recall. I
It,
don't, I
it,
don't know. I don't really follow
someone
the
might fact
MLB
check me on
like
that,
that
but
in baseball. Yeah,
yeah. I don't know. I want you to take what we're okay. So, in fairness, we both agree that Fight Club is a top tier movie. But for
yeah,
movies where we may not agree, we're just going to average our results. Seems like the most logical thing to do.
right.
So, where would you put Moneyball?
I think Moneyball's pretty good. Like, it didn't change my life or anything,
I
but like,
think
it was a fun watch.
I think I'm absolutely okay with putting in pretty good. Like I wouldn't give you any pushback on that. It's not like a Academy Award winning movie, but it's like a good story. It's a good retelling. It's interesting for me when I had no, you know how I was with baseball before like this year's World Series. Like I wasn't super into it, and I still really like the movie. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think it's pretty good.
yeah. I think. Well, I guess I'm just not a big fan of Chris Pratt. I shouldn't just throw strays for no fucking reason. Anyway, it's pretty good.
Leave Star Lord alone.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So
Okay,
where do we transition from there?
we so this is where the rule came in. Well, the next one's where the rule came in, but this is what made us make it. So we took Brad Pitt again, and we went to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because we
Did we
wanted
really?
like we did. Is at the very start we were just on an exclusively Brad Pitt line.
Fuck, man, we were awful.
Yeah, we did not have the format figured out. Start.
Right. So then we went to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, clearly because I mean we wanted Leonardo DiCaprio, but it
We
doesn't look like it goes that way.
no, yeah, we wanted Leo real bad, and then we decided to go a different direction on it. But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was very strange movie.
Yeah, I mean you go into it and you know it's Quentin Tarantino. Well, I guess you didn't know it was Quentin Tarantino
I
actually.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah. But I mean it's Quentin Tarantino. You know his movies have this weird vibe of like hyper reality where things are like gritty but then also like explode into cartoonishness randomly and then characters just kind of shrug and like it's normal. And there's like a lot of that in this movie. So but it's like probably like the balance of it is like harder to grasp than most of his other movies. Like it's really kind of feels all over the place.
Yeah, it at the start of the movie, it starts as like a historical retelling. It's kind of like a Moneyball vibe about like an actor, and I didn't know that it was a fictitious actor at the time. So I'm like, okay, whatever. We're in it. Leo's playing this character. He's having a hard time. He gets this role as the cowboy or whatever. That's what was in the trailer that we watched. And I was like, okay, so it's just a story about an actor. And then at the midway point, they threw in some Charles Manson shit. And I remember, well, while we were watching it, I was like, oh, I see. Margot Robbie is such and such. I can't remember her name. And then I thought it was going to be like a Manson cult movie. And then it ended up not being that with the ending where Brad Pitt just turns into like a kung fu ninja and kills a bunch of people.
Yeah, it was kind of well, I didn't know like you knew that the woman's name. I know you don't know it off the top of your head, but you recognized it,
Yeah.
and you were like, "Oh, that's her." And obviously, I don't know much about the Manson family, I guess, which really raises questions in my head about you, why you know so much about it.
True
But I
crime
know,
documentaries.
but I digress. Um, yeah, so that really kind of perked my ears for a second when you explained that idea. But yeah, no, it's just there's that really weird scene where Brad Pitt's character goes to like I would say a compound. It's like this weird desert town or whatever they live in, and he talks to his old friend, and it's just like a really weird extended scene where he talks to this old dude that's like grumpy and maybe a little senile, and it just doesn't really go anywhere. He's just like, "All right, man, see you later." It's just like it's an extremely weird vibe. Like the storyline doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean that character, Brad Pitt's character, is getting a sequel, but I'm not sure that was like planned at all. And yeah, it's like he goes. It's like 30 minutes of him being there, flirting with that girl. That actually happens like what 3 times throughout the movie before he ends up going to the compound.
Yeah, that's like an ongoing thing where he just like eyes this girl up from like inside his car over and over.
And you think that that would culminate in like maybe her being one of the ones that break into Leo's place and get killed, but that doesn't happen. Yeah, so I know that Margot Robbie's character was one of the major victims of the Manson family, as well with the guests that are at the party at the end. So what happens is it's just a alternate history where Brad Pitt is there and kills them all, which feels really weird. Like I don't know how to think about that as a story.
Yeah, he saves the day. And it's really weird like that it ends on that because most of the movie is not about that shit. It's
And
like mostly Leonardo DiCaprio being like a he's not a schlub, but he's like schlub adjacent and he's like worrying about his career and shit. And fucking there's a storyline where Brad Pitt, who is his stunt double, is like getting less work because people think that he killed his wife, It's just like a bunch of these
Oh
elements
yeah.
that are all just like mashed up and don't really go anywhere. It's really weird. Like it's weird because like I'm talking about like I didn't enjoy it all. I thought it was fine,
Yeah, I agree.
but
But
it's
it
just like it doesn't really feel like it had any direction.
Tarantino has like a habit of like putting a bunch of cool ideas in shit and figuring out where they all go later.
It feels like that, yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, here's like this like 5 minute storyline that's gonna come back later, and it's gonna like like it's gonna be a chemical explosion because this storyline's crazy and it's gonna meet our other storyline and it's all gonna blow up. And he loves that dynamic.
Well, at least the fight scene with Bruce Lee was, it was to show that Brad Pitt was a badass, so the ending was less hilariously cartoonish. But
Yeah, I'm a Bruce Lee guy, but yeah, I
all
don't know. It's just that yeah, there's this level of more cartoonishness to it than I
yeah,
was expecting, I
definitely
guess.
didn't expect it. This movie threw me for a loop. But like you said, I thought it was fine. Like I'd be okay with either just okay or pretty good. I'm not. I could be swayed. I don't know.
I'd put it in just okay myself.
Yeah, I think I lean towards middling. Like, if the right type of person, like if I knew someone's interests aligned with that sort of movie, I'd recommend it to them. But it's
Mhm.
not something I'd go out of my way to recommend to anyone. Like my mom. My mom's not gonna like that movie.
No, like I think that's probably like the public thinks that way too, probably. Like I don't think it was that well received.
Yeah, really? Oh well, in a
Yeah.
sequel. So from there, we decided no more Brad Pitt. We had
Thank
overdone
God.
Brad Pitt, and we went from Margot Robbie to the Barbie movie, which is the starkest contrast we could manage, I think.
Yeah, but I like Mario Robbie, so
You are a big Margot Robbie fan.
I mean, how can you not be?
I am. I am. I
Just the like
actually was really interested in watching this movie when it first came out, which is weird because, you know, I didn't play with Barbies or anything. It's just like an interesting.
it's an interesting idea. The trailer made it seem like it's like well, the Barbie movie already is a pretty strange idea. Like, what the hell is that going to be about? And then the trailer was like all weird as well. So it was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Well, I didn't watch it either when it came out, but I was the same way. I was like, I'd probably watch this just to see what it is.
I don't know how I came into this expectation, but I went in for some reason with some horror element in my brain, which you could argue that it's unsettling in some ways, but it's a lot more kid friendly than I thought.
Well, I think it kind of has to be
It
because the
Yeah.
Barbie movie, it can't be like a serial killer Barbie shows up.
Well, they did have the weird Barbie that kind of looked serial killery, but it the prevailing theme was a lot more to do again with toxic masculinity. Like Ryan Gosling goes out and learns about the patriarchy, and then comes back to Barbie world and instills that.
Yeah, and then everyone was like, "Hold on, patriarchy is actually fucking tight." Like, not even just the guys, the women are like, "Patriarchy is tight," but that's supposed to be like the women are brainwashed into thinking this, which is like it's pretty heavy-handed. But it's like, all right, I get it.
It's an important message to send out. I agree that men have had it far too good for far too long. I'm so brave for saying that, but movies like this, I hope some kids see it and they see the Barbie world Congress lady and they're like, I want to be a Congress lady or whatever. You know what I mean?
I hope some people see Michael Cera and think that guy's fucking tight. I want to watch more of his movies.
I do like Michael Cera. Well, we didn't end up going down Michael
We
Cera,
didn't.
but
We did not know.
he
I really
is.
like that joke where they're they're leaving Barbie Land for the second time, I think, and Michael Cera is trying to tag along, and he points to the Kens that are trying to build a wall to prevent them from leaving, and he says, as soon as they figured out they can build that wall sideways and not just up, we are in real trouble. And they're just like
I
stacking a one by one brick thing, like 50 high. It's really funny.
There is a few good jokes in there. I think a lot of the stuff with like what was that sweater that Ken wears at the end? The I am Ken Nuff, like
Yeah,
tie
did
dye
like
sweater. I like that
did
so
like
much
that.
that I went out and bought one. Like I own that sweater now.
Yeah, that is you've been
Sh-
advertised that.
straight up marketed to, and yeah. So like all in all, I think I like this movie like pretty decent.
Yeah, I'd give it to like I'd probably put it in just okay, but like if you want to put it in pretty good, I'm cool with that.
I'd be putting it in pretty good. I feel like
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fair enough.
If
Yeah,
you're on the fence, I feel like I'm fine putting it in pretty good.
yeah, by all means.
So from there, we went on The Gauze, which both of us independently think we came up with it, but we probably didn't.
I'm pretty sure. I'm almost certain I did, but at the same time, the internet probably came up with it like 15 years ago.
Definitely me. But we went
Yeah,
from Barbie to La La Land, which is a musical romantic comedy. I heard a lot about this. Like, it won a bunch of awards, right?
yeah.
It won a shit ton of awards, but I'm not like a musical person usually, and rom coms also aren't really my vibe. So I didn't see it. You haven't seen it. I think from here on, having one of us seen it is kind of sparing. We
You're
tried to
right. Yeah,
avoid that as well.
that might be like 50-50.
Yeah, there's somewhere it's like
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
So this movie's it kind of has a weird tone to it where the two people are helping each other succeed and then they get to this point where they can't anymore or like their lives don't work together. And then it has like the somber ending where they like exchange a glance and think about what could have been and then
but
they
then
just
they just kind of accept it.
yeah, they just go their separate ways and that's like it's like very real.
I guess it's realistic, but like this movie isn't very realistic.
Yeah, I don't know. They, like the on their first date where they go out and they're like tap dancing on a Ferris wheel or whatever.
Yeah,
Doesn't
it's like very pretty visuals and like fantastical thoughts, but it's like yeah, the ending is a little odd.
you don't it doesn't build you towards expecting them to because right before you find out that they broke up, like where Emma Stone walks in and then picks up her kid and the husband's there, and it's not the gauze. That's when he drives her to this big audition that she has. So it's really stark, and I don't think I'm a big fan of an entire movie building up this relationship and then you not getting the feel good ending. But I guess like I've heard that the director was going through a divorce at the time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so he wanted to reflect his emotion into his screenplay, and
a true auteur.
yeah, so
Uh, I mean, the thing is like I do like musicals. Like I don't mind watching a musical, but a big part of musicals is like, do you like the music? And I just didn't really fuck with the music all that hard.
I can't think of a song. Maybe like their little motif that they have, but
I can think of like the choreography from some songs, like the one of the start where they're on like the highway or whatever.
yeah, I,
Like, okay, cool idea for a scene and the song, but like, yeah, none of this music really stuck with me at all.
I can agree with that. The only thing like since it's been so long since we watched this one, the only thing that stuck with me long term, besides how hot Ryan Gosling is and the fact that he wears a red leather jacket and everything that he's um
Mm.
is how the ending made me feel, and it was not feel good. I don't know what else to say. I don't know if that makes it a bad movie or if it makes it a good movie because it was able to make me feel sad. You know what I mean,
It's weird because I think did this win Best Picture?
uh, I think it did. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
there's the whole debacle where they
Yeah,
announced the wrong
they
thing.
might have announced the wrong thing, but it might have been the other
Yeah,
way.
it might have been flipped around. Yeah, it's weird because I don't think, despite not having a very good time with it, I don't think I'm cool with putting it in the bad category because like it is obviously like a very technically well made film. Like it looks great and like shots are great. You know, but yeah, I just didn't really fuck with the story or the music, and that's two big parts of a musical.
His parts. I'd
Yeah,
say it probably has like that same vibe of Once Upon a Time, where it's like if you're into rom coms and you're then you'll probably fuck with this movie. But
yeah, like it didn't like upset me or anything. I put it in just okay, I guess.
yeah, I think I'm fine with that as well. We did a strange one here. You snaked a really strange connection.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons shows up in La La Land as like a waiter in a music scene or something for like under a minute. I think he's
Yeah,
just in
he's
there. I was like,
barely in
oh
there.
shit, that's oh shit. And then like it might have been the start of making the line weirder because like oh it's funnier if the line involves like weird bit parts that characters are in for only like a split second, or like we use odd actors to continue it. So I was like, yeah, let's go to Whiplash off
Yeah,
of that.
so Whiplash is maybe the most contentious. Like we see the story differently, not just as film viewers, but like as people.
Yeah,
Like our mindsets towards the sort of trial by fire, tough love, which is, well, maybe not even tough love. He's just a dickhead.
he's a fucking absolute tyrant. Yeah,
Yeah, like the emotional abuse to like draw someone's true potential out of them is something that is prevalent in like sports culture. I feel like it's man up. There's no crying in baseball, like that sort of thing.
yeah,
And this movie like pushes that to the absolute limit. Like J.K. Simmons pushes people to actual suicide just so he can replicate, what's the name of the musician? Some jazz musician.
Bird. I can't remember his actual name.
Bird, which
Yeah.
they reference in La La Land. I think it's because it's the same director, which is I think why you wanted to go to Whiplash so bad.
Oh, maybe. I
Yeah,
just like J.K. Simmons. I don't know, man.
they mention some. They make a Whiplash reference somewhere, and um,
Oh,
so Miles Teller goes through this like arduous process of joining this prestigious band, and from day one, J.K. Simmons just like the vibe is fucked.
yeah. Well, the thing is that like he sewers the vibe immediately by like trying to like build him up to be like, yeah, you're cool, man. We're just having fun. We're chilling. And then like on the first day, he's just like, you are a worthless scum sucking loser. Like you are awful. Figure it the fuck out. In front of like everyone, in front of all these people, like he's walking into like the higher tier of the class at the school, in front of all these people that have been here before him, and he's just humiliated. And it's that famous scene where it's like just not quite my tempo that everyone knows, and
Yeah,
that's
I
why
actually didn't
everyone
know
knows that
that.
scene. Really?
Yeah, I didn't know much. I think I've seen clips of J.K. Simmons just like laying into people, but I had no context to what it was for. I definitely didn't think it was like a concert band sort
Right.
of thing. So I'm I'm soft. I'm a soft person. I don't agree with the core message that the greatest person of blank thing would not be deterred from negative feedback. I think if you push anyone enough, they'll probably break. And I feel like that message is reflected poorly, actually, by the ending of the film. The film almost seems to be glorifying what J.K. Simmons did. I know that the director's gone against that idea, but that's how it ends.
It is, but it's like to me, it's like Miles Teller's character does finally get what he wants, but so does Fletcher. Fletcher gets what he wants too, which is like that's the lose condition. He's like the worst scumbag in the universe. You're gonna give that dude what he wants, and you're gonna reward him for doing all this horrible shit. And, like I think that's where it comes in that this is bad end.
Yeah, I guess him feeling vindicated in what he did to you, what he did to uh kid from New York who killed himself.
Yeah,
Like
and he'll continue to do this because like he wins, you know?
it is a rare movie that ends with like a fucked up ending. Like the bad thing has transpired here. Um
But it is yeah, I agree. It is harder to parse because it's like, oh, he did it. He's the best drummer ever. But it's like the fact that he's the best drummer ever through these means is like that's not good. That's fucking there's has to be a better way to do this. And I have the differing opinion that like yeah, if you have someone pushing you to be a better person or a better whatever you're trying to be, um, you will probably end up being a better version of yourself. But there does have to be a limit where you're not making a trombone player or whoever the fuck kill himself.
yeah, I the thing with Fletcher is that like I think maybe it was before the first official practice Miles Teller went to. He like dug for information about his family life, like him not his dad walking out and his mom being dead or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he immediately weaponizes that. Like there's certain lines that I don't think you would ever cross, even if you're trying to motivate someone to be the best. But
Yeah,
maybe, you know,
that's the thing. It's like, yeah, this guy's a fucking complete psychopath, and he gets what he wants. So bad end.
and there's like I feel like the romantic subplot is there just to show how much he's willing to sacrifice.
Yeah, it's like she's literally only there as a device to be like, oh, he's losing it.
Yeah, and then after he gets expelled or whatever, she's already moved on. Like life doesn't stand still while you pursue greatness.
Yeah, he does get expelled. I thought he dropped out for some reason, but he probably did get expelled because he tackled Schaefer.
It's weird that he didn't get
Not Schaefer,
unexpelled
Fletcher.
when Fletcher got let go.
Yeah,
But I guess you just can't beat the living shit out of a teacher on stage.
yeah, probably not.
Um,
And, no, I think it's. I like the movie a lot.
I like it too. I'm somewhere between the top two tiers, honestly. Like I think it's shot really well. The score is really good. The
I think it's really
acting,
yellow.
it's kind of yellow, yeah. But
Pretty yellow.
is it being yellow enough to drop it to pretty good?
No, being yellow is a positive to me.
Yeah, we're moving it up here. I feel like I would recommend it and say that's a good.
Yeah, I'd leave it up there.
Yeah, so pretty even spread. Um, from there we didn't go with a cameo this time. We went with just Miles Teller
Right.
into Top Gun Maverick, which is apparently movie of the year.
Yeah, Top Gun Maverick really came out of nowhere and blew everyone's dick hair back.
I know you'd seen it already and you like really fucking liked it, which is weird.
Yeah, I had never seen the original Top Gun outside of a few scenes here and there. But then I think it was like Christmas a couple of years ago, and my dad had it on TV, and I was like, all right, I'll watch it. And I was like, damn, that was pretty good. It's a pretty like paint by number story where it's like everyone loves those movies where it's like a school setting and there's like these a group of feisty kids that hot shots, and then there's this even more hot shot but a little down to earth teacher, and they have to learn, but there's a big exam at the end. Everyone loves that formula, so it's like it's not a inspired movie by format at all, but I still think it did everything really well.
Yeah, you rarely see movies that are about like fighter pilots. I think Top Gun is like the one that comes to mind.
Yeah, I don't
So,
know. Dunkirk, maybe. Though it's not really about fighter pilots, it's just about a war.
like, there's a lot of choreography in the probably CG. I don't know, like the airplanes that you see. That's like, it's a summer popcorn movie. You're watching it and you're like, this is fucking tight. Like, you don't even need a super complex story. You're just like, this looks cool. I'm in.
This looks cool. Tom Cruise fucking riding motorbikes. He's flying at Mach 10. He's fucking this old lady. Well, she's not old. She's the same age as him, but she's hot for being as old as he is. Tom Cruise fucking killing it all the way through. And you're like, I fucking wish I was Tom Cruise, except for the whole religion thing.
Yeah, I definitely don't want Scientology, but I would take being Maverick for sure. Except where you
Yeah,
have to pay
Maverick's
like
fine.
$2,000 to give a round to the whole bar. Don't want to do that. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know if I have any like super complex thoughts about this movie because of how formulaic it is. I feel like it's just a decent movie.
Yeah, it just kind of hits singles over and over. It's just like, oh yeah, fucking good, cool. Mavericks teacher now, Miles Teller. They gotta work through some shit. There's a fun beach scene where everyone's ripped. It's just like, yeah, I just like everything. Basically, I don't love everything, but I like everything.
It's strange to me that it's ranking so highly. Like on a lot of lists of movies you look up, like we used to do that primarily to pick movies. We just like look up like top movies this year or whatever.
Yeah,
This one's almost always ranked first for 2024, I think. And I think that's
yeah,
insane.
it is pretty insane. But what are some other 2024 movies? Like I can't think
Sinners.
of any off the top of my head. Sinners, yeah, but you're a big Sinners head. Like
I
Sinners is good,
I
but
am
it's not
way
like
into Sinners.
It's not like,
It's probably better than Top Gun Maverick, at least.
I'd say they're pretty comparable
That's fucked up.
to me.
I can't. Well, then you better place this shit pretty high because I think it's good. I think it's probably pretty good. How do you feel?
I'd put it in pretty good. Yeah,
Pretty
no
good
problem with that.
seems about right.
Yeah, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Tom Cruise, pretty good.
That is an all-star lineup. And then
Yeah,
we
not
decided to
bad.
get weird.
Yeah, I don't know how we decided to go with Interview with a Vampire. That's what it is, right?
Yeah, interview fire.
Yeah. Why did we decide to go here?
Well, we went off of Tom Cruise, and our options were like Risky Business, Mission Impossible, and then I saw Interview with a Vampire, and I have a weird vampire thing.
All right.
I like
Am I
vampires.
crazy? It's Brad Pitt again, right?
Yeah, Brad Pitt's fucking all over
The
this.
fuck is wrong with this? We gotta get away from this guy.
He's in everything, bro. You look at his filmography, he's in like 15 movies a year. He never stops working.
Yeah, this guy fucking loves what he does. But yeah, no. Strange film. The idea of Interview with a Vampire really can go in a million places or a million ways. I mean, and so I didn't really know what to expect going into it, and I think I got enough of what I wanted, I guess.
I actually really like because I watch a lot of vampire-based media, and a lot of it nowadays is like sexy vampire who's from that time, but he's living now and like dealing with today's struggles. I like that it went for this is my story from human to now, and like why
Yeah.
I've become like dehumanized, where I lost my
Well,
soul.
yeah, I was expecting it to be more of what you described. Like, yeah, this is I'm a vampire and this is how I live now. But yeah, I was all right with it going back in time and being like, this is my whole deal.
And when we started watching it, I think it took us like 30 minutes to realize that Tom Cruise was Tom Cruise in it. He was like the evil
Yeah,
vampire.
what's his name? Lestat, I think.
That seemed, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was Tom Cruise, but then
The light hits him a
as,
certain way.
as still thinking about it, I'm like, that's Tom Cruise. That's kind of surprising. He doesn't really. I guess I'm not really familiar with Tom Cruise looking that young.
Yeah, he's really Maverick old.
Yeah, in my head at least. But he actually had Lestat was probably my favorite part of the movie. Him just being, like, and I didn't think he was when I was watching it because I wasn't like I love this character or anything. But he was just like I don't know. I keep thinking about that moment at the end where he shows up in the car and he says some shit like, "I assume I need no introduction," and then fucking gores the guy in the neck. That's fucking funny.
That shit, it's crazy that the whole story is like how I killed Lestat. Like that's the thing, and then the ending is nah, he's
I didn't kill
chilling.
his dad. He's fine.
But I think
It kind of loses me in the back half of the movie where they go to Paris and he's in a relationship with I know uh Spider-Man's girlfriend is like 100 years old or whatever. What's her name? Fucking
Kirsten
we
Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst. We use her to get into the next movie, but I'm like it's just like that whole thing when they're like we're trying to find other vampires and they find other vampires and the other vampires are like not chill. Well, I guess they're chill, but they find out that they killed Lestat. I don't know. It kind of lost me.
The relationship was strange. I don't know if I got the vibe that it was supposed to be a romantic relationship. It trended that way sometimes, and then other times it was like father daughter. It was very strange.
Yeah, I don't know about like vampire culture. I guess maybe it's
Well, you're
normal
not
for
supposed
these
to turn a
guys,
child into a vampire. That's Antonio Banderas says that shit.
right?
Good.
Right? Are they like prejudiced against them because of that too? Did I miss that?
I think that is one of the like that's the reason she gets ashed is because they're like you shouldn't exist,
Right. Okay, that
and
makes sense.
that's what causes Brad Pitt to go and monkey bananas and kill them all.
Right. Yeah. No, I just think it's okay. It's not my favorite movie in the world.
It I've heard a lot about it. Like I feel like it's a cult movie. Like people who have seen it are like, yeah, that's actually low key kind of good. but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going up with the pretty goods. I feel like just okay is fine. I feel like we're being pretty positive. We picked mostly good movies to start with.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's mostly good movies across the board. Like looking at the rest of them too, but
There's,
we try to mix it up.
we did try and get a bad one, but you know, we'll talk about that when we get
Yeah,
there. So, as you mentioned, we went with Kirsten Dunst, however you say it, into Jumanji, which you'd never seen before, and I did when I was 10 or something. I was a kid.
yeah. I always remember having the VHS for Jumanji in the house, and then always looking through the VHS collection, and like I don't know, seeing like Aladdin or something, and saying, "Fuck Jumanji, bro! I'll watch Aladdin for the 11th time."
Well, how do you feel about that now that you've seen it? Like, what do you? Because we watched the remakes or the reboots rather, and it's like
Yeah,
completely different vibe.
I've seen the video game version. Yeah. I was expecting a lot more of the game because of that, maybe, but also I think because when I was a kid, I always imagined it to be like this crazy fucking rip roaring time. Everything always happened all the time. I imagine like the entire town being flooded for some reason. Does it ever rain heavily in that movie? Because I always picture that for some
At the
reason.
very end, there's a hurricane, and like the
Right, right,
aunt
right,
is riding through the streets on water
right.
on like a
Yeah, yeah,
tour.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, but that was always in my head for some reason. But yeah, I was always just picturing it being more about the game. But that doesn't make it bad. It's just that it's not what I was expecting. I mean, I liked. It was definitely a kids movie, um, but I like Robin Williams' character and everything. Um, but I didn't really glean much out of it to be like, "Whoa, this movie's so sick." I guess.
It's more of just like presenting a problem, and then Robin Williams and these kids work to fix it, and some wacky hijinks happens, and then it just kind of ends. And I think that's good for a movie in like the '90s or whatever, the kids movie. I think it's good. I don't have anything bad to say really. It's
No, I don't have anything bad to say either. It's just it's a kids movie and it's classic because Robin Williams is obviously great and everyone loves that guy. Like the rest of the characters, yeah, it's like whatever. I don't remember the kid actors' performances at all. But Robin Williams is great. So
I think
yeah, the
there
movie's
is
good on
one
his back.
thing worth talking about before we finally rank it. The ending
Yeah.
is really strange, right? When they finally solve it and Ron Williams like time vacuums back to being a child,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then they use the information about the kids' parents dying in a ski trip to like save them.
Yeah, and they're like, they're at like a Christmas party at the end, and they're like, oh yeah, we're going to the Alps next month, and they're like, no.
Yeah, that's like really weird. Like I don't even know what to do with that story. That seems like it could be its own movie.
Yeah, it's just I mean, great and all. The feel good ending. Robin Williams gets to be with his childhood sweetheart. The kids keep their parents. The weird game warden or whatever, the safari instructor with the elephant gun, he gets fucked.
Like torn to shreds as he dips back into the game board.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, no,
Pretty
I
good.
would
Just
put it
okay.
in. Yeah, it's right in the middle there. I'm not sure. I'll let you make the final call.
I think top of just okay.
Oh, are we ordering them like that? They're ordered.
Yeah,
Uh,
loosely.
yeah, back to front. Okay.
Not too specific. So from there, we went with Robin Williams to Good Will Hunting, which was in full on YouTube. If you want to watch Good Will Hunting, you can just look it up. It's there.
And in just about as good as quality as you can expect to find it too, I
It
would
is
say.
fantastic quality. So that was good. We didn't have to track it down anywhere else.
Yeah, didn't have to rent it on YouTube.
This movie is a lot like Fight Club, where it's like everyone knows and likes Good Will Hunting, and
Yeah, it's like a cultural powerhouse. There's like so many things from this movie that are just in other things.
yeah, like going into it having not seen it, there's like a whole Disney's Recess, and that's like, you know, that's my show. There's a whole Disney's Recess that is about that, and it's like, oh, it's nice to see where that came from, even though that's like a 20-minute, 10-minute rendition.
Right.
I
From the
like the
janitor.
the janitor Hank, he's nuts at math or whatever, and then it's strange because Will Hunting is like 20, but
Yeah.
it, I think this movie has a lot to do with mental health and development. That's kind of underlying throughout the whole thing. I mean, I guess it's on top because he's talking to a therapist, but you wouldn't think of that being one of the main when you look at it.
It's a lot about, yeah, just like complex emotion. Like, I like that the movie is obviously about Will Hunting learning to accept his greatness in the face of his own uh like upbringing and a place in the world. Like, he can be better. It's like getting out of his own way. But it's not just that. It's also about Robin Williams' character being at this place in his life now where he has had a great life and he is happy that it happened, but he's also in this place where he thinks it's done because it happened. They're in like opposite places where Will Hunting refuses to let the greatness of his life happen because he wants everything to stay the same and to be with the people he feels safe with. But Robin Williams' character has already been through it all and doesn't want any more. It's like they're both experiencing the same thing, but from different parts of their life, kinda.
I didn't think about it that way when we watched it, but that does make a lot of sense. Like the ending has Robin Williams feeling like he can move forward, and
Yeah,
and so I didn't. I'm not stupid or anything, but I didn't parse that it was so directly comparable. But it makes a lot of sense that the two of them help each other to get past
yeah. It's like therapy for both of
block.
them. It's just more obviously for Will Hunting, you know.
It's
But
interesting that
yeah,
he's like so great that he has to actively try to not be great.
yeah, he's just like fucking nuts at everything. Like, he's great at math. He knows about like psychology shit. Fucking there's like, I think there's a moment where they're like talking about art at the start where like Ron Williams is like, yeah, I drew this picture or I painted this picture, and he's like, oh yeah, this probably means that like you're sad or something because the boat's lonely. He's like, fucking relax, Will Hunter. You can't be fucking good at everything,
And
man. But he is good at everything. That's the whole point.
whips off random quotes that back up. That's another thing that Ron Williams calls him out for is like he doesn't express himself; he expresses himself through the words of others, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
Mm.
Even
And
in like the famous bar scene.
how do you like them apples? I really like the moment where I know I've lost it. Continue.
Uh, I don't know where else. I think pretty much like top to bottom, this is maybe my favorite that we watched. Every actor fucking kills it. Like even the secondary characters, like his
Yeah,
girlfriend.
his girlfriend and fucking Ben Affleck.
Yeah, Ben
They're
Affleck's best
yeah,
friend.
yeah. It's just like it's a movie about like a complex idea of like your own comfort zone and that being limiting to you because like you never know what you could do, and if you just go through life being comfortable, you'll never be the best version of yourself, and
Yeah,
that's a hard pill to swallow.
and that actually brings up like the Ben Affleck scene when they're dumping gravel near the end, where it's like you owe it to your parents, your friends, like the people around you to be the best you that you can be.
Hmm.
And that I feel like that's an important life lesson. Like you need to do as best you can by them through yourself. And I feel like that speech and that discussion is a big part of what pushes Will towards the end of the movie.
Yeah, for sure, because it's not just like the people that are already have it figured out. They're not just suits or teachers or a therapist. It's like this dude that's living his life basically. It's like his best friend that's just like, listen, you fucking loser. Like, fucking, you have a way of doing better than anyone around you, and if you don't, it's an insult.
Is there any way we could place this anything but the best? I don't think so.
No, yeah, Good Will Hunting is very good, and I'm kind of upset with myself that I didn't watch it
I know,
before.
right? But is
Honestly,
it better than Fight Club?
I'd probably it's close.
It's close. It's close.
I'd be okay with leaving it above it. Yeah.
Yeah, just we'll leave it like this. If anyone has a problem, just know that we both think it's very close.
If anyone has a problem, fuck off.
Yeah, make your own tier list.
Yeah.
So we watched Good Will Hunting and we were like, "Fuck, that movie fucking ruled." We got to start
Yeah.
watching some bad movies.
Yeah, because like look at the line and
It,
we're like, okay, everything's just okay to what recommend to anyone on the planet. It's just like if we just watch good movies, it's like we're not really getting the full cinematic experience. Some movies are shit.
yeah, we need to watch some bad movies. So
Yes.
you knew about this movie. I'd never heard about this shit in my life. The Great Wall
Yeah, I
with
remember
Matt
seeing
Damon.
trailers. I remember seeing trailers for this and thinking, who in their right mind, every part of the creative process for this movie was ill-advised. It's like who the fuck thought of this and who the fuck is gonna go watch this?
So Matt Damon playing William or whatever,
Yes.
uh, which I theorize is Will from Good Will Hunting. He invents a time machine and goes back to save China from monsters, but that's a theory for another day. He shows up to try and steal gunpowder and has to save China from monsters, I guess.
And
that
they get to the Great Wall, and the Great Wall is like the wall from Game of Thrones. It's like fucking 500 feet tall, and on the other side there's alien monsters, subterranean beasts that um snarling creatures that will rip any person to shreds in a moment. And there's 50 million of them. And Good Will Hunting has to say, "Oh fuck," and that's basically the whole movie.
that is the whole movie, but they also introduced like these color coded Power Rangers that have
Yeah, that really
techniques
struck
to
a
deal with
chord
the
with you.
monsters. Yeah, I think about it a lot. How they were color coordinated in like uh Rathalos armor for some reason, and they like took me a while to think of
Yeah.
Rathalos.
Yeah, no, I mean it is weird. Like the movie has an extremely weird visual style because like everything's larger than life in like every way. Like everyone's walking around with 10-foot spears, and the armor is like as shiny and perfectly crafted as it could ever be. But it's also like the color grading outside of the armor is like all this gray, brown, drab shit, and they're on this fucking shitty looking giant wall. It's really weird all the way through.
I just don't really enjoy the idea of the plot, like the the
What
white
even is the
savior
fucking plot? I
thing.
don't even know what
It's
the plot is.
like he comes in and he's the key piece to take out like the big boss alien.
Yeah, it's a weird white savior thing where these Chinese people have been. Well, no, it hasn't been a constant thing because the snarling creatures only show up like once every 60 or 16 years. I can't remember, but they're like, okay, we're prepared and we're dealing with it. But then Will Hunting shows up and he's like, don't fucking worry, I'll sort this out for you.
And then it's just like they know that if you kill this big one, it ends it, but they haven't tried, or like they make an offhand comment where they're like, everyone who's tried never came back or something like that. But it's like that's
Try
so
harder.
corny, man. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It
Oh,
go on.
it's the impossible problem of everything. If you have an enormous army, an enormous unkillable army with impossible odds against you, there has to be a way to defeat it, and you can't defeat it if the odds are impossible. So there has to be a linchpin win condition, and that's always kill the leader and everything falls over.
Like
Or
they
in this
literally
case, they
become
become brain
brain.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
remember
you
the
just know how it's gonna end.
yeah. Sorry. Um, the most the thing I remember the most, and I feel like we both agreed upon this while we were watching it, is we went into it expecting like a hilarious bad movie. Like you put it on, it's like it's fun to watch because it's so bad or so stupid, and it
Yeah, I
just
was looking
wasn't.
forward to that.
It just wasn't.
No, yeah, it was just mediocre and boring.
Yeah, like it was a slog. Nothing was funny. I mean, the best thing about it was when he was proving himself and he shot the three arrows to get the bowl.
Yeah, that was weirdly cartoonish.
Yeah, that was sick. And then like shit like that didn't happen for the rest of the movie.
And no, yeah, I was expecting some really over the top shit. I mean, I guess there were a legion of women in blue armor that did a bungee jump spearing. That's something, I guess.
Yeah, and then the main girl at the end did like some insect glaive shit to jump onto a second one reference, jump onto the blimp. So
Yeah,
that was a little silly.
yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
I don't even like. That's the thing is I don't because it's bad, but it's not like terrible, terrible bad. But is it being boring, worthy of being like absolutely bottom? Because I feel like it is. Like
It could be like it in an extremely weird way. It's not like The Room bad. But The Room is a better movie because you can watch it and be like, ha ha ha, this is obviously garbage. How did this even happen? This movie is just like incompetent and boring. I would put it in Killed My Childhood Dog.
yeah, like the purpose of a movie is to entertain you, and this is by definition not entertaining.
Yeah, no, I think that's entirely fair.
So yeah, this movie's dog shit. Not even the
Yeah,
good
no,
kind. Don't watch it.
no, leave it alone.
We didn't even mention that Willem Dafoe's in it, but that's who we used for the line.
Willem Dafoe is in it, and he's this weird, snivelly guy that they team up with.
Yeah, he's not a major character, but he's there, and we decided to go to Nosferatu off of him.
Yeah.
So we chose Nosferatu. We watched this one. We watched this one.
Corporeal form.
Yeah, we watched this one when I was over at your place, and
Yeah.
this movie, I feel like it was trying too hard to be artsy. I don't know.
It was pretty artsy. I find that I don't know. I'd had a few drinks watching this one, so maybe I wasn't in the best headspace to even watch it. But I found that it was in its own way a lot, maybe. It's like there's I don't even really know how to talk about this movie. Like I can't find the right words for it.
Well, I'll jump in. So at the start of the movie, it opens with Nicholas Holt going to Nosferatu's castle, and that's not like a big part of it. Like he comes back like 40, 50 minutes, but while he's there, I remember I was stone cold sober. All the scenes with him like going through the torment of being in this castle, it felt like it was
I
going to
thought it was a
end with
dream
him.
sequence.
Yeah, he was gonna shoot up from bed because it
Yeah.
didn't feel like earned. I don't know, like it just happened. Like it, he got there and immediately it's like, oh, he's being chased into a crypt, and then Nosferatu's actually in the casket, even though he was just chasing him and shit. Like, didn't make much sense.
I think that this movie really wanted to be like a really classic style, like a bunch of vampire shit for like a modern audience because that really hasn't been done. Like this classic dark, gritty, horrifying vampire story, right?
Yeah, like bringing it back to the original Nosferatu, where it was like scary, like actually frightening.
Yeah, because vampires have been turned into this like some of them are sexy, some of them are hoity-toity, you know. This one's just like a fucking. Is he Russian? What is he? This is a
He's foreign.
foreign, vicious cunt, and like he's just fucking scary, and he's a monster, and he's weaknesses that are really hard to get with. You can kill him, but it's going to be very dangerous, and this is not a joke on any level. And in that sense, it probably succeeded, but I don't think it really succeeded in being a very fun movie to watch.
No, well, I haven't seen the original Nosferatu because it's old.
I've seen that one shot from it where he's walking through the door.
Yeah, where he looks all scary. I haven't seen it, so I don't know. It's a German film, I think, right? Um,
I don't know.
I think it's German, and German films are notorious for being out there and experimental and shit. So I feel like it was trying to do what a modern take on experimental horror would be like. And it's interesting, like from a filmmaking perspective, good idea, but from a like viewer narrative standpoint, it's confused. Like he comes back and then the storyline is about how his wife had like this affair with Nosferatu in like a spirit realm or something.
Well, doesn't he? He signs her away, doesn't he?
Yeah, no, he signs her away when he's trying to sell like a house or something. But
Yeah.
prior to that, when she was younger, she had like a relationship with him alone or something. And he sees her as something that he
Right.
and Nicholas Holt didn't know that he didn't vampires. So a lot of the story focuses on wife, and she ends up killing him.
Mhm.
She doesn't really
But
kill
like
him.
also sacrificing herself.
Yeah, she gets drained to a husk, and he just happens to forget that it's gonna be sunny.
Yeah, it's a really weird point where it's just like, whoops.
You think I said this when we were watching it. You think being a vampire for centuries, you'd be aware of the one thing that's gonna turn you to ash at all times. You're like, oh
Your
yeah,
internal clock would probably be pretty finely tuned to be like, I gotta get home.
yeah, the sun's
Or
coming up.
find a fucking tarp to lie under.
I didn't really fuck with it. I don't know where I'd put it. I just don't think very highly of it.
No, I'd put it in bad. I didn't really like it at all.
I agree with bad. It wasn't great while bad, but it wasn't very good. And it
Yeah.
is well received, which I feel like is strange, but we're on the outside
It's kind of
with how they
surprising.
took it.
Yeah.
I f- there's like a weird subsection of look at something that's pop artsy and like it just it's like that, you know.
Yeah, there definitely is. It's hard to tell what is the majority of those people that are like pushing the numbers. You know what I mean?
We actually did two movies that night.
Hmm.
The story how we got to this one is Nicholas Holt is in Nosferatu, and then I looked him up for the line. We could decide where to go to, and I noticed that he was in Warm Bodies, which you've seen before.
Uh,
And when I told you that Nicholas Holt was in it, you said no, he's not.
I couldn't picture Nicholas Holt anywhere in that film.
And then I said he's the main guy, and I pulled up the picture, and you went, "Oh shit, that is Nicholas Holt, isn't it?"
And there's Nicholas Holt. He's got his fucking Nicholas Holt cheekbones and jaw out and everything.
He fucking looks just like him. And then from that, we didn't even intend to watch the movie. You just remembered a joke that you like.
Yeah, well, it's a good joke.
Yeah, there's a joke towards the middle that we'll probably talk about, but and then when we went to look for the joke, it didn't exist. So I was like, just put on the fucking movie. So that's how we ended up watching Warm Bodies.
Yeah, yeah, you ended up liking it a lot.
I like it an insane amount. I think, like, I don't really fuck with rom coms that much, but I really like the idea of a zombie movie that takes place after the zombie part. You know what I mean? Like, the outbreak has happened, like, it's done. This is
Hmm.
society now. And from the perspective of a zombie who's like, I don't know if it's realistic to zombie lore to have them regain humanity. Who knows? The zombie virus changes depending on what movie you're watching.
That's for
But
sure.
having like I've been a zombie for this long, I have zombie friends. We like to shamble around together. Like I don't know. It's an interesting idea. So I liked it on that front for sure.
It is pretty fun. It's a fun idea because like you never think about the zombies' perspective in any of this, and you'd think that it would have to cross your mind at some point in the zombie apocalypse, like how much of the person is left in there, you know? And you'd probably tell yourself over and over, like they're just gone. It's over. Like they're just corpses being piloted by a virus or whatever. So playing with that and being like, well, no, actually there is some left in there is pretty fun. Yeah.
I think there's something that doesn't really get mentioned over the course of the movie, but the reason Nicholas Holt falls in love with Teresa Palmer, I think, um,
Yeah.
is because he walks in and he sees her, and it's like the romantic moment. Like he catches his eye immediately, but then he eats Dave Franco's brains, and he gets all the memories of them being in a relationship.
Yeah.
Do you think it's strange that maybe what pushes Nicholas Holt over the course of the film is more Dave Franco than it is him, or is that even like a thought?
Um, it doesn't really occur to me because there is that moment where he's like, "Oh shit, I gotta get me some of that." But it is weird that the girl character learns that. Like at one point, like maybe the end of the second act, she learns that he's the one that ate her boyfriend's brains, and she gets over that rather quickly.
Yeah, she hit him with the. I thought so. I just hoped not. And it's like
Yeah.
that's weird. Like you
And then she like
figured
turns over in bed. It's like,
she doesn't like
okay,
peace out after that, but
yeah.
you think you'd want to go back to society, and that's what pushes him to lead the revolution where all the zombies go to help the humans against the even
The super
eviler
zombies,
zombies.
the bonies.
The weird fucking CG skeletons that are actually mindless, like what you'd actually say a zombie is.
Well, I guess you need a villain. It's just,
And that has I can't remember the actor's name, but like his best friend zombie comes up and he has like the horde with him. That's the joke that you really like.
yeah, the Rocky like a hurricane joke.
Yeah, Nicholas Holt is like, "Will you guys help?" And they go, "Ah." His, his best friend says, "They said, fuck yeah." And then it plays Rocky like a hurricane as they walk up. It's so strange and out of place, but it's so funny. Like that, the movie in general had me laughing like a couple times. Like there were a couple
Yeah,
really good bangers in there.
it's really surprising considering what the movie is.
I don't know what to say. I really liked it. Like I don't know if I would recommend it to anyone. To be fair, they'd have to be edgy and
I'm I'm fine with leaving it in pretty good. I'd probably just say just okay, but I know it really changed your life.
yeah, it really ticked the boxes for me. So I it would push into high pretty good for me. So that averages out to low pretty good. Well, that
Hmm.
seems fair.
Seems good, yeah.
So from there, we went with the main girl from Warm Bodies, Teresa Palmer. I think that's her name. Pretty sure. Let me double
Right.
check. So Teresa Palmer into The Fall Guy with the gauze again.
Back around to the gauze.
This is a strange action movie. A complete departure from the horror zombie love movie. Turns
It
out
has the Bullet Train vibe where it feels like it's not as Bullet Trainy that as Bullet Train is, but it's almost feels like yeah, it was written by a Reddit think tank.
yeah, it could be an AI written movie. I talked about this with another buddy of ours, and his general vibe on the movie was that it feels like they just made a movie, and that is so succinct. That's exactly what it feels like. Like it's very paint by numbers. There's the big twist that Quicksilver planned for him to get hurt or whatever, and it's like it's almost Bond like. I don't know. It's very corny.
It's the action is too over the top to make you feel like anyone's ever really in any actual danger because if anyone actually got like really hurt during all these actions, they'd just be killed. Um, but it takes itself too seriously to really have much fun with the action, also, I find.
I
Does that
agree.
make any sense?
Yeah, it's not like a Michael Bay explosion. It's like a couple levels above John Wick, and it feels it falls flat. Haha, fun.
Nice.
Thanks.
Uh, yeah, no, it's just fuck me. It just feels like yeah, like an action movie that got photocopied a few times, and they were just like, well, all the colors are kind of drowned out now because we ran out of ink, so ink in the photocopier, and, and they're like, okay, well, just color it in with highlighter, I guess. Just make all these elements of the movie really, really loud, and then just everything else just whatever.
I will say there is like a line, or maybe it's not verbatim, but the romantic subplot, like him and the director. Uh, there's a line when she's lighting him on fire over and over again
Yeah.
about how he says, "Do you know when it takes so long because you want to say the right thing, and by the time you come up with the right thing, you realize you've already said the wrong thing, or like not saying
Uh-huh.
that." I feel like that line has resonated with me. Like that's something that I do, and like the overall idea of um not knowing how to deal with complex emotional things along with his extreme lifestyle. It could have been a lot more, and then it ends up not really going anywhere. Like their relationship seems to heal pretty quickly, but maybe I was expecting
Yeah,
the wrong thing.
there's a lot of like he's really hinting heavily that like, oh, we should get back together. I still like you, and then she's like constantly shutting him down, but like they're never saying it in so many words. There's always like a little, no, we're talking about the movie, but we're actually talking about our relationship, and I don't know. It just got tiring for me. I get what you're saying, like that. Like a certain line can be like, oh, that's a good line. I can think about that, but like I never really
Yeah,
had that in this movie.
it doesn't up the movie's quality. I think I just like the line, and overall, I don't even know if we got any like good laughs out of it. I don't know if there was any good memes. Like at the end where they replace it with Jason Momoa was kind of funny, but
That was kind of funny. Yeah,
that's just like a throwaway gag.
we should have used Jason Momoa. I think that guy was fucking rad.
Yeah, he would have been second. Well, the next movie we went, I think it was a pretty good choice.
Yeah, I suppose so.
So bad? I feel like bad.
Bad, yeah, bad,
That
bad, 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 bad.
definitely bad. So from there,
How did we
we
get to Shutter Island from that?
that's a great question. I don't remember. Oh wait, no, I have these in the wrong order.
I was gonna say I feel like Wolfman's first.
Yeah, that's my fault. We had Wolfman because we did Emily Blunt, who was the Gauze's girlfriend, I think.
Right, because Teresa Palmer was a different lady in that movie. She wasn't the main lady.
She was Quicksilver's girlfriend who shows up for one scene, try and kill the
Yeah,
Gauze with a katana.
right. And it
So
turned out that was like a stunt movie prop or something.
yeah, but that she was
Yeah,
only in there for like 3 minutes. So that's another like weird cameo that connected the line.
good, love it.
But then we went with Emily Blunt and we went to The Wolfman 2010.
The Wolfman 2010, which is probably well, it's definitely between this and The Great Wall, but which is the lowest rated movies, I think.
Yeah, people did not like The Wolfman. I was drawn to it because I think at this point I had in my head that this was going to be a Halloween themed line, which
Well, you can see that with
yeah,
the ending here.
there's a lot of scary ones near the end because I wanted that, but then stuff gets in the way. Blue Jays were in the World Series, couldn't get it out by
Yeah,
Halloween. That's how life is. Um, so I wanted to go with the Wolfman because he's one of the big three of like the Hammer horror things,
right.
and I don't think I have much good to say about the Wolfman 2010.
I'm gonna be honest with you. We watched a lot of movies for this. I remember almost nothing about this movie.
I'm with you. Like I don't even remember what to hate on. I think the thing that stands out the most is when like his dad is revealed to be Werewolf Prime. They have a werewolf battle.
They have a duel in his study, and it's just like a barely lit CGI fight scene by like a fireplace, and they just throw each other around. That's basically all I remember for this movie. No, there's the scene where um he's captured by his father also, and he gets dunk tanked over and over.
Yeah, and then he oh okay, I remember when he's in the asylum and they have like that weird uh academic viewing thing for him, and then he becomes the Wolfman. They're like, "Oh no," and he tears apart all the scientists. That's something. The thing I remember the most is that this movie was like a blend of CGI and practical effects, and both of them were bad.
Yeah, it was the worst of both worlds. I think the public was correct. This movie is just like who wanted this, who asked for this, who wanted the vibe for this. It's like I get it's kind of the same thing as Nosferatu, where it's like we want this gritty, gray horror movie with horrifying visuals, but the visuals aren't horrifying and it's not that gritty. It's just like people are people grumble at each other.
Yeah, it was made in a time where the wash everything out. It's like The Dark Knight kind of infested film for a while,
Mhm.
and it's like just wash it out, make everyone dark and can't see what's going on. I didn't like it. I don't
Yeah.
remember enough to hate it, but I think it's just bad enough to go at the very bottom.
Yeah, no, it was terrible bad. Yeah,
Yeah, like if we can't remember things to hate, that's a bad sign.
definitely. Yeah, it's supposed to be entertainment, and it's been wiped from my brain somehow.
That's good. Now we don't have to remember watching that. But I don't even remember who this was in the movie. but Max von Sydow. The
Yeah,
actor's
he was. I do remember this because I thought I should remember this, so I used some mental bandwidth to hold on to it. He was briefly in like a carriage or something with the main character, and they just have like a quick chat about like werewolves are bad. And I'm like, oh, that guy's in Shutter Island. I recognize that guy. He's the fucking psychologist or whatever, or one of the psychologists. I don't know. He's like the super psychologist
Yeah, so he's
from
in
that
there for
movie.
like 20 seconds, and we're like Shutter Island. I've actually, I've had a hankering to watch Shutter Island for a
Right. Yeah. So it seemed like the perfect tap in.
yeah. So we decided to go with Shutter Island, and this movie I've wanted to talk about for a while as well, because while we were watching it, near towards the end, I remember you said there is a theory, and I was like, no, 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 hold it. So do you remember off the top of your head what theory you're talking about?
Yeah, the theory is it's that he, well, the main character Teddy is actually Teddy and not Andrew Latus, and this whole fucking crazy rodeo was to actually see if they could break someone by selling a lie so perfectly, and it was actually like a mental warfare thing.
I think that that's like perfectly reasonable. Like Mark Ruffalo's character is his partner, right? They don't have like an established.
Yeah, I think that meat on the boat.
Yeah, so they meet on the boat. So it's not like that couldn't just be someone from Shutter Island.
Yeah.
Then I also did read up a little bit. I saw some comments. I saw something similar to this. I'm not sure if it was the same thing. And a lot of people bring up the cave scene when they're talking about
Mhm.
the ways this movie can go. Um,
Yeah, and they're like it has to be like a straight up mental illusion.
yeah, but thing about the mental illusion is that when he's talking to that woman in the cave, she gives him information that he doesn't know.
Yeah. Well, does she? What does she tell him?
She teaches him about lobotomies. He doesn't know lobotomies
Right.
or like the specifics of it.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah, because I think Ben Kingsley mentions that earlier in the movie.
oh yeah, well
Y-
that just
Yeah.
falls apart. Uh,
Yeah. I think he does at least.
I feel like that's a perfectly valid theory. I was hoping it would be that. So the twist the twist is interesting. Of course, it's like an all timer,
Yeah.
but it
Like
could
you
go
don't want to
either
know that
way.
going in.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
want.
Like if you watch that movie again, like I have, it's like it's very easy to think that way and be like, it could be that, like that they're just fucking with him, which is like horrifying. And one of my worst nightmares is just that there's a giant conspiracy that everyone's fucking with you.
Yeah, that's
But
why I like Wicker Man's like, scariest movie.
yeah, um, but I think it's like Fight Club with the Marla being in his head too thing. I think there is are a couple moments where it probably doesn't add up and you really have to stretch your limits of trying to buy into it, you know?
Yeah, like shows the flashbacks of him with his wife, and when he's in like the locked seat or whatever, and he's talking to that guy in the jail cell. It's pretty heavy-handed that he's like, "You did this to me," and like, how would he
Yeah.
have done that to him if he just got arrived on a boat?
Yeah.
But also, the therapist near the end during the big reveal at the lighthouse, he says like, "I've heard the same story before. The wife, the storm, all that shit." But the storm is like a tangible thing. Like they're doing cleanup to damage from the storm.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's also hard to parse that like so he's been on this island for years or whatever and he's been in this loop. So at some point they had to be like, okay, there's a storm coming. It's gonna be a hell of a storm. We're gonna send out Andrew Latus on the boat into the ocean, and then we're gonna turn around and come back. And somehow we're gonna have it so he has like the mental reset of the loop right then and there, and we're gonna play out this whole giant role play thing.
it does beg some suspension of disbelief that like there's times where both theories seem more convenient, which makes it
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
I think that's interesting and like the ending is kind of weird with that as well because you get the vibe either like it's trying to pass that he's relapsing, then it also is like is he or is he just doing that thing from Sucker Punch?
Oh, I think the way I take it is that the treatment did really get through to him, and he has cracked. He's come back to reality, right? But then in that scene where him and Mark Ruffalo sit down on the steps and he says, "We got to figure this out" or whatever, right? Like he's acting like Mark Ruffalo is still his cop partner. And Mark Ruffalo's like, he looks over at Ben Kingsley and he hits him with the, oh man, he fucked it. But then Leo hits him with the some shit like, what's worse, to live in a delusion or know that you're a monster or whatever. So that to me is like he's he's lucid. He knows what he is, but he's also so horrified by it. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna get lobotomized so I don't have to think about it.
Yeah, that's like its own kind of having to escape your past by taking an stick to the fucking skull.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
horrifying.
I think it's like out of the psychological thrillers I've seen, I definitely pretty up there. Pretty
Y-
cerebral.
Yeah, so you have to have a high IQ to interact with this movie. Yeah, no, it's obviously like really, really good.
So going up here with these ones,
I would say so. Yeah,
I'd say. So. And then
it's like, come on,
final movie that we watched the month of October.
confusingly since there's five left.
These are extras. I don't know what to do with. Final movie
All
that we
right,
did for the official line. I'll talk about these ones after. Was Ted Levine? He was
I don't
the
know. I don't know his
warden.
name.
He was the warden in Shutter Island, and
Yeah,
Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs. So that's where we decided to go. This is like an all-time cultural movie that I hadn't seen.
it's like Goodwill Hunting. There's a bunch of just references to it everywhere because it's great.
Yeah, like Fillmore. A lot of
Yeah, I
cartoons, a
love
lot of cartoon references in my brain.
you love your Disney cartoons.
So like this movie kind of is like Interview with the Vampire in that it's a conversation between a person and a monster for a good portion of it,
Right.
but it's way better.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's all on Anthony Hopkins, who's just like, I find it would be really hard to strike a balance of like being a chilling psychopath killer cannibal without making it like too hokey. Like you really have to strike a balance of being weird and fucking just like a freak without going over the top.
Yeah, like the fact that his hair's slicked back nice, he talks respectfully, like he cares about rudeness. Like that honestly makes him scarier.
Like he enunciates every fucking syllable. He stands up. He's kind of hunched over, just but like it's like a 5% hunch. He's just like he's just off a little bit. Yeah, it's very strange. It's just like a yeah, like an all timer performance.
Yeah, he plays like a psychopath. Like if you were looking to play a crazy person, that would be the place to look. And
Yeah, I
it's
think there's a I might be smoking crack here, but I think there's a trivia thing where every time he shares a scene with Clarice, he never blinks or something.
that could be
It's
true.
just very unsettling shit. Yeah,
I remember watching it. There's a lot of this has probably been brought up because this movie's been analyzed to death.
yeah,
So this probably isn't an original thought, but I noticed there's a lot of extreme close-ups. Like the entire frame is the actor's face, and then it'll shift to the other one for the conversation. And
yeah. Very uncomfortable.
yeah, that's like very claustrophobic. Like it makes it feel unsettling. And cinematography is top notch.
Yeah, and just like it's the same thing with what movie we were talking about. It's the same thing where it's just like it'll hold on like horrifying shit just for like sometimes too long and sometimes not enough time. Where it's like when you're with Buffalo Bill and the girl's down the weird well he's built in his house. Sometimes it just holds on her screaming for like, and you're like, Jesus Christ, fuck. And then other times it just doesn't give enough time. because it's kind of scarier to be like what's happening after that. I don't know. Yeah, it's just like all the way through. It's just like fuck. This is horrifying.
I've like the thing is, there's like two ongoing storylines that interweave, like her talking to Hannibal Lecter, the actual search for Buffalo Bill, and I feel like it's like the pacing. I never felt like this movie was moving slow, and it's like a pretty long movie, just over 2 hours. It was one of the faster paced movies, and like Buffalo Bill is very scary in his own way.
Yeah, it's like you don't like like if you were gonna get captured by a serial killer and like you're trapped and you're like, okay, well maybe. I mean, it's a bad situation no matter what, but maybe like the serial killer comes in and maybe like the traits of the serial killer aren't like all in the red, and then he comes in and you're like, fuck, man, everything's bad.
Fucking dancing around, telling you to put fucking lotion on and shit. Like,
Yeah, fucking, he has this tiny yappy dog. He's built a well in his house. Fuck, man.
that is low roll for sure.
Yeah, horrible pull on the serial killer abduction.
Like, and for being a horror movie that has two serial killers in it, it's not very gory. Like, there's not a lot of gore or like violence. I
No,
mean, he does
yeah,
break out and he like bites the guy or whatever, but it doesn't need that to be scary.
no, yeah, he rips the dude's face off and wears it, which is probably one of the cornier things in the movie. But I don't know. I think it got you, didn't it? Or he
Yeah,
like sits up in the ambulance and he's wearing the guy's face and he takes it off.
yeah. 'Cause I was like, I was just confused because they see the guy's body and they're like, oh, he's got facial lacerations, and they put him in the ambulance. It's like you can't tell that he's wearing someone's face.
Yeah, see, it's a little hokey, but
To do with that,
I
I don't think the movie explains where he got the pen or whatever he uses to pick his handcuffs, or maybe he did and I just missed it. It could have been like subtle, but that
he
did.
must have, yeah,
Yeah, it's probably in there somewhere. I don't think I caught it.
yeah, yeah. No, I think just yeah, solid all the way through. Like it's a classic for a reason, you know.
Definitely up here.
Yeah, I'd say
I'd say right here, right above Fight Club
fair
or
enough.
Fight Club. And then these movies at the
Really.
bottom, uh, don't worry about them. They're just there to look there. That's the end of it. That's what do you have to say about October movies? Or you have any closing thoughts?
The Wolfman was really shitty.
That's a great closing thought.
That's it.
I think that the movies that you know are going to be good, they end up being pretty good. Like, I think I need to try harder to watch the movies that are referenced by everything because I have thoroughly enjoyed like all of them.
Yeah, you're like every time you watch a movie like that, you're like, oh, well, obviously, like this movie rules. It's obviously good because everyone talks about it all the time. It's like, why haven't I watched it yet?
Yeah, it's pretty eye opening. Finally, be in with that group.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's it. I don't know how to end it. So thanks for listening.
Farewell.
The end.